Greetings, greetings, beautiful being. Welcome to Movement Medicine Morsels. So this week we're playing with a little experiment, interactive sessions, where if you're tuned into the live session, I'm inviting you to drop a request or a question or a favorite movement, anything like that, into the chat box. And I will co-create with you, and we'll have a session that's based on your requests. But to begin with, let's settle. Let's settle our energy, and that way more people can gather. You can think about if this is your day to ask for something, and if no one sends in a request, I'm just going to wing it, and I'm going to do something that I know I would like to do, and hopefully you would like to as well. So the purpose of all of these sessions is to bring some suppleness and ease into every part of ourselves, and that includes body, mind, spirit, and to bring us home to our true nature, where we can feel grounded and expansive. And so let's begin by sitting, and of course if you'd prefer to lie down, you're always welcome to do what feels good to you right at the moment when you're watching. And feet on the ground, bum in the chair. Really sense your contact to the surfaces that are supporting you right now. This gives us a sense of grounding, which is really important at a time when things are all over the place and we don't know what normal is anymore. So it's good to feel settled no matter what is going on. So we feel the ground below our feet. We feel the surface under our bum. Maybe we wiggle a little bit to get really clear on that. And then out of that foundation, we let the sensation into the foundation drop. Feet drop into the ground. Seat drops into the chair. If you're lying down, your whole back body drops into the ground. And if you're seated, the top of the skull and spine rise up to create a sense of suspension, which counterbalances contraction or compression that can come with anxiety, stress, overwhelm. And so we're rooted, we're connected to our tallest, most elegant sense of self, and then we bring online a smile, a soft smile, and also our breath. So if you'd like to put your hands on your belly, or maybe one on your chest and one on your belly, let's feel into these components, these building blocks, and bring our breath into the game. And so we're feeling rooted, we're feeling suspended, we're softly smiling, and we're feeling our breath flowing smoothly into our bodies. And as we exhale, the breath is flowing smoothly out. And we're dropping into a pace and a rhythm that feel nourishing and life-giving to us today. Maybe some days it's very slow and smooth. Other days it may be a little bit quicker, but it's never ragged. It's always looking for a soothing rhythm, almost as though we're creating a lullaby effect with our breathing. And take a few moments feeling into your ground, your suspension, your expansion and rhythm through your breath and soft smile. And notice if these simple things together create a shift in your felt sense. And so at this point, if there's anyone watching who has a request or a question, I'm near the chat box and I can see what you are interested in. And since no one is asking, or you're shy, or you just want to be led, that is totally cool. So I will start with a few things and I'll check in one more time. So let's continue. Let's go to standing actually. And of course, if you prefer to sit or if you want to stay lying down and listen and visualize, all is beautiful. Because it's basically our intention and the movements of our mind that guide everything else. So if you're standing, if you're sitting, or you're lying down, we refresh our vertical alignment, feeling whatever is below us. So feet, back body, all the parts of the back of your body if you're lying down. And if you're standing, just softly bend the knees as you exhale and push against the ground to straighten the legs. Inhale, we soften, but we stay suspended to the sky, and then push with the feet. And this gives us the ability to work with the stored potential in the ground. So if we just bend our knees and straighten them, we're doing something simple and beneficial, absolutely. But if we soften our knees and then we push with our feet, we have a sense of power and strength. And this is the way that dancers train to leap, to go up in the air. So let's play with that a little bit. I'll step back just a tiny bit. And growing through the crown of the head and shifting the weight slightly forward, raise the heels. And then let the heels reach down to the ground as though you want to stay connected to the sky. Inhale, shift onto the balls gently, and exhale, reach the heels down. See if you can feel something elongating in the backs of your legs. Inhale up, exhale down. Now pause, and we're going to put the last two exercises together. You can just let your hands rest. You can keep your hands on your belly, on your hips. You can put them on your head, whatever you like. Just own it. Own it and let it be stylish so the arms aren't just flopping about. So now we're going to exhale and bend the knees. And on the inhale, press the feet into the ground and continue to rise the heels. On the exhale, let the heels reach down and then bend the knees. And inhale, we straighten the legs and we continue pressing against the ground to rise. And on the exhale, we stay connected to the sky and we lower. Let's add some arms with this. So let's circle the shoulders a little bit. Inhale up and back. Bend the knees if you like. Inhale up and gently back. Exhale down and forward. So we're circling. You can sigh out the breath if you like. See how the movement matches the breath. So as you roll the shoulders back and chest opens, you create a little bit more room for your breath. And now let's syncopate. So inhale, one shoulder makes it circle up, exhales back and down, and then the other shoulder has its turn. And let the head and the neck and the upper body move along with this in any way that they like. And let's go back to both shoulders. And you can make a sigh on one or two or three of those exhales to further clear the lungs. And let's shake out through the hands, shake out through the hands. We're going to do just a little bit more of that bending and rising, and we're going to add an arm movement. I'm going to move a little to the side so you can see at least one arm, but both arms are doing the same thing. So imagine there's a little puff of air, and you can warm yourself up by taking your thumb and index finger and spreading as you inhale. So that gives a little puff under the arm, and of course do that with both sides. So that gives us a lovely feeling of moving from the chest. This is not moving from the chest. This is moving from the fingertips. Nothing wrong with that. But if we want to connect our movement to our breath, let's let the chest open with that little puff in the armpit. And now we're in a whole other ball game. I like the expanded version better myself. So if this gives you something that you really enjoy, go with it. So I'm moving over to the side, and the arm movement is opening to the low diagonal on the first inhale, and we can bend the knees with this on the exhale. Inhale, lifting to about shoulder height, exhale down. Now lifting to the high diagonal. Inhale, so high diagonal. If this were the 90 degrees, this would be somewhere in that 45-degree-ish realm. Exhale. And the final one, we just open up to whatever height feels delicious, and we want to bring the whole torso with us. And then the palms come down. So let's do this with the lifting up onto the balls of the feet. If you like, you don't have to do that part if maybe you want to focus on the lovely arms and breath. So let's zip ourselves up to our height. And this can be done seated, of course, and you can be visualizing yourself like a big bird soaring if you're lying down. And visualize yourself that way if you're sitting or standing. So nice and tall, and exhale, soften the knees. Now the low diagonal. Inhale, push the feet, and maybe you float up onto the balls of the feet. And exhale, lower. Now halfway up. Inhale, push the feet into the ground. Maybe you float onto the balls. And it doesn't matter how high the heels are. And now the high diagonal. Maybe this invites more breath into your chest. Exhale, float down. And inhale all the way up. And lower down smoothly. Now we're going to descend. So we're going to go the highest position first. Let the breath match the movement. Exhale, lower down. Now the high diagonal. Imagine the arms are initiated by the breath in the chest, parallel to the floor. And now low. And I forgot to rise on that one. And lower. And come to standing. And pause for a bit or come to your tall seat. Maybe you want to feel into your abdomen and your breath. And notice how you feel now. Is anything new or different? I'm just going to come closer to the chat in case there's anybody who has suddenly gotten an idea or wants to request something. And I'm going to choose the next exercise then. I've been feeling into this. I want to get a lovely side body stretch. So for this one, let's have our hands resting on our hips for a little bit. And the feet might like to be about shoulder distance apart. And we want to keep the knees soft, but we want to maintain that stretch upwards. So we'll start by swaying the hips to one side, nice and easy. And inhale, come up in the middle. Exhale, sway to the other side. And inhale, come up. No strain on any joints. We're looking for the path of ease. We are not looking for resistance. We're looking for fluidity and freedom. So now continuing this movement, the hip moves first and then its knee bends. So you travel a little further. And inhale, both legs straight and you come up. The hip starts to exhale, then the knee bends. So that actually takes the hip out and down. Hip, then knee bends, and reach down with that hip a little bit, as though it wants to sit on the floor, but it's nowhere near it. Inhale up, side bend, and then a little bit of reaching down. So let's use the hands for the next one. I'll come a little closer. Exhale, hip, knee, and let that hip slide towards the ground just a little bit. Inhale, everything comes up neutral. Exhale, hip to the side, bend the knee, and reach down. And now let that flow smoothly from side to side, almost as though the sit bone is a foot, and not only does it go out to the side, but it wants to reach down. It wants to reach down. So this is a great movement for the hips and the legs. And it's also a nice move to take to your next dance party, online, or whenever it can be in person. And now we're going to add something. So don't change, don't suddenly go, oops, something different in the hips. We're going to reach out and down with that hip, stay here and reach that arm up as though you want to get something from the ceiling. So you've got this beautiful hang and big stretch. Now relax that arm down, inhale, come up. Switch to the other side, lower that hip, bend that knee. We're doing the first one slow, and then reach that arm up, pick a piece of fruit or touch a star, whatever you like, and come back. Now let's take both arms up, and they're just gently here. Reach one hip out, bend that knee, and reach up with that hand. Inhale, come up in the middle, and as you exhale, you're picking the fruit on the other side. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, hip out. Inhale, so you get this beautiful side stretch, and this is a pretty typical dance warm-up for good reason, because it uses so much of ourselves. And you can even lift up the foot. I'll move back a little bit so you can see that. Lift the heel, put the foot down. You can walk with it. I'll just come a little closer so you can see and hear a little bit more. Inhale, reach, and exhale, let yourself stretch. Inhale, reach, and stretch. So the arms are gentle in the inhale, and then you activate on the stretch. Reach with your fingers. You can press up with the back of your hand. And if your shoulders are not in the mood today, you could reach in some creative way. Reach with the armpit, make it a bit sassy. But if you have the ability to reach up, this is such a lovely stretch. And let's have some fun with it. If there were no rules, how would you do this? Maybe you've got some imaginary music going on in your head, or maybe you've got a great song playing in the background for yourself. And allow the movement now to get a little smaller, a little smaller, a little gentler. Let it all come to its own natural finish, allowing your body to spiral, twist, whatever it's doing is perfect. And we let this come to a natural finish when it's ready to do so. And let's finish with one showering chi. So let's rub the hands together. Imagine you have light and warmth between the palms, and the rubbing will help with that. And then open the palms as though you're carrying a small ball of light. Exhale, the knees soften a little bit, connect to the earth. Inhale, those armpits open, and we expand. The light expands right out past the fingertips. Exhale, the knees soften, the palms are receptive. Inhale, press the feet into the earth. Rise up, let yourself be embraced by the sky, the stars, the moon, the rain. And on the exhalation, begin to pour the healing energy through every part of yourself, continuing to breathe, taking your time, feeling the sifting, the soothing, the settling, and then all the way down through the feet and into the earth. And we'll do one more. When you're ready to exhale, collect the energy, connect to the earth. Inhale, press down on the earth and open up wide as all the world. Exhale, palms up, relaxing. Inhale, press against the ground, rise up, let the sky and the heavens kiss you, and with the earth and the sky energy combined, wash, settle, calm. Feel every part of yourself being cleared, cleansed, relaxed, and then finally settle the energy over the ground, into the earth, and finally rest the hands folded over your low belly. Feel your feet, the drop of your tailbone, the rise through the crown of your head. And feel your breath. Feel all of you breathing, all parts of yourself. And notice how you feel now. And notice if there's been any shift in how you see yourself, feel yourself, how you breathe, your posture, or anything else. And take whatever benefits you've received from interacting and playing with this little lesson They're yours, and carry them with you for support during the rest of your day or evening. And I say thank you to you. Thank you so much for joining in. Many blessings, and I hope you feel a little smoother, calmer, more grounded, a bit more joy circulating freely through you. And that helps us with everything that we face. All right, bye for now. Thank you for your beautiful presence. Keep on shining.